each day more and more spewed forth from their collective fluids, burrowing into every opening and dark recess. They hold no reverence for the world around them, ripping and tearing with greedy hands at every piece of their God's creation. Perhaps they are ignorant of their God, but the truly meek hunger for knowledge. No, ignorance will not survive what's coming. They're all nearly corpses already. Humanity is a gross, skittering thing. I crack one in my hands and watch it spill out on the ground. I observe 5 slimy things struggling to heave a majestic horned kill into the back of a truck, the creature's radiant form riddled with their easily squeezed out bullets. Its powerful body makes a thud onto the bed, and the panting men wipe blood from their brows and cheeks. My head begins to ache, and vision burns as the voices battle for claim to the creature's hide and head. I struggle my way back to my truck to avoid collapsing right there on the ground. Tear from their bodies and soak the meat on your tongue. Declare with a full mouth your supremacy. I walked into one of those shops that worship their breeding. In an aisle, a man's sweaty hands pawed at a magazine with a couple pictured on the cover in the midst of guttural grunting. Instead of taking it to the front, his eyes dart around before slipping into one of the bathrooms. He came out a few moments later, smiling about his slimy achievement. I walked out, vomiting on the street. Grunt as others squeal watching. Spew and dribble as you watch them. A grotesque masturbation to your species' multiplication. I was in an upscale grocery procuring olives, smoked soy cheeses, and varying fine nuts. A nasty thing in a suit starts blathering to me, unaware of the look of disgust on my face, laughing that I can clearly afford to eat more if I'm shopping here. He tells me of the bountiful order he just placed at the butcher's counter. He's been eating like a king, he proclaims, since his promotion for work on certain private finances at his company. He describes with flashy language something that clearly constitutes massive fraud against their investors. There's no concern for my tiny brain's struggling comprehension of this. I am but a bug in awe of his power. I'd become quite ill at this point, suddenly booting up bile all over his leather shoes. As he raged, screaming at a clerk for a rag, I gathered up my food and left. Swollen and gorged with power, rupturing of the weak, you breach heaven and become gods to yourselves.